So in NHL 24, we had the Everett Elks, a historic franchise that constantly lost its players. Now we're back in NHL 25, but we have a different franchise, meet the Portland Pirates. But once again, they've lost all their players. All they have left are 50 overall stick on the ice legends. But don't you worry, because this team right here, they're going to become Stanley Cup champions. Now, how are they going to become Stanley Cup champs? Well, today it's going to be through the wheel of overalls. So how it's going to work, of course, is we're going to spin the wheel of overalls, and we're going to see what overall we're getting. We're going to be starting off with a fantastic player. A 92 overall player is going to be joining the team. That's definitely a great start for what we're trying to build here. Now, I'm actually really surprised, but in the grand scheme of things, there's not really that many 92 overall players. There's a lot of 90 overall players, a lot of 91s, and even a lot of 93s, but not too many 92 overall players. However, there is this one guy, and you know what? He's a great addition to the team. Andrei Vasilevskiy, a 92 overall. If we're going to win a Stanley Cup in the future, we want an elite goaltender, and that's what we're getting in Vasilevskiy. 92 overall, the perfect player to build our franchise around. Now, although the forward core is still full of 50 overall players, and same with the defensive core, we do have a fantastic goaltender, and honestly, we have a great goaltending tandem right now. We have Andrei Vasilevskiy, and then we have Andrei Vasilin. So if you're telling me these two guys can't lead us to 82 wins, I don't know who will. So Andrei Vasilevskiy, Andrei Vasilin, you have some very high expectations. 82 wins this season, that's the bare minimum. Now, while we simulate this season, you might notice I have some pretty impressive earbuds in right now, and that would be a great observation of you. Well, that's because I'm wearing some Raycons, and that's because today's video is sponsored by Raycon. So as you all know, when I'm recording videos, I'm either listening to music or I have something playing in the background for a bit of background noise. And recently, I've been using Raycon's everyday earbuds, and I'm still getting amazing audio quality at a fraction of the price. So what you're getting with Raycon's everyday earbuds is 3 different sound profiles. You're going to get pure sound, you're going to get balanced sound, and you're also going to get my personal favorite, which is bass. So not only do Raycon's everyday earbuds have 3 different sound profiles, but they also have active noise cancellation that can be toggled with your right earbud, so you can turn it on and off whenever you want. So on top of all the amazing features I've already mentioned for the Raycon everyday earbuds, not only are these things dustproof, but they're also waterproof, so you don't have to worry about anything stopping your amazing audio quality. Now, if you thought the everyday earbuds couldn't get any better, what if I told you they had a 10-minute quick charge, which is going to give you an hour and a half of battery life? So the Raycon everyday earbuds, they have a ton of amazing features, and they're already at an amazing price. But guys, if you use my link in the description, I got a deal for you. So if you click my link in the description and use code SOTI at checkout, you're going to get 15% off your purchase as well as free shipping. So I want to give Raycon a massive shout out for sponsoring today's video. Now I got to give the Portland Pirates a lot of respect here, because they did something I didn't even think would be possible. We won a game. This team won a game in regulation. I don't know how we did that. I don't even know how it's possible. I don't know who scored the game winner. I don't know which team we beat. There's a lot of questions that need to be answered, but it looks like it was Figgy Newton. He's potting the winner here. He had the one lone game-winning goal, 4 goals, 9 assists, 13 points. Bob Stones led the way here. James is coming in second. Then we got Doan. It's Shane Doan, by the way. Not the same Shane Doan you're thinking of, but you know what? It's a great replica. But I guess the real question is, Andrei Vasilevskiy, did you have a shutout? Yes, you did. You shut some team out. We need to know which poverty franchise that is. It better not be the St. Louis Blues. I swear if it's the St. Louis Blues, I'll lose my mind. The New York Rangers, Stanley Cup champions, but who did we shut out? Poverty franchise just got shut out by the Portland Pirates. I mean, the Portland Pirates are amazing, but the Calgary Flames losing 1-0. How do y'all even do that? We have 50 overall players here, and you lost 1-0. Nah, y'all are a joke. So we're back over to the wheel of overalls, and you can land on the same overall twice, but I actually have to take that back, because this is the only overall we can't land on twice. 69. There is one player in the NHL right now who is a 69 overall. I didn't even think that would be possible. So how it works with the wheel of overalls is you have to be playing in the NHL for your overall to be represented. That's why we're not seeing a bunch of CHL guys. Like, there could be 57 overalls on the wheel of overalls, but we're not doing that. It's NHL players only. In saying that, there is one guy who is a 69 overall. We have to go over to the Colorado Avalanche, and who is the lone player right now in the NHL, or at least under a contract, who is a 69 overall? Tucker Poolman. Tucker Poolman is a 69 overall, and he's going to be added to the Portland Pirates. How are you a 69 overall? Like, respectfully, how are you a 69 overall and in the NHL? I feel like at the very minimum, you have to be at least a 70 overall to be in the NHL. Like, I have to go on a bit of a rant here. 69 overall is incredibly disrespectful. And you know why it's so incredibly disrespectful? Let's go over to Utah. Let's see who the lowest overall in the Utah Hockey Club is. It's Shea Weber at a 70 overall. Bro can't play anymore. Shea Weber can't play anymore, but he's still higher overall than Tucker Poolman. That might be the most disrespectful thing I've seen in a while. So Tucker Poolman's going to be joining our defensive core here to 69 overall. That's still so incredibly disrespectful. I won't get over that. Tucker Poolman is better than a 69 overall. He might not be a star player by any means, but you cannot convince me he's only a 69 overall when Shea Weber, who can't play anymore, is a 70. Now, Tucker Poolman, every ounce of disrespect you just faced has to be taken away. 3 regulation wins. We had 3 regulation wins with Tucker Poolman. Unfortunately, he actually didn't lead the way here. Don't really know how that's possible, but he didn't. He actually wasn't one of our top scorers. He wasn't even in the top 2 in scoring. Bro was 3rd in scoring here. 1 goal, 19 assists for 20 points here. No, that's not right. That's really not right. The fact that a 50 overall, a stick on the ice legend, had more points than Tucker Poolman, that's wild. There was technically 2 stick on the ice legends that had more points, but one of them was your defensive partner. Okay, technically they're tied, but you know what? He had 5 goals. We're just going to say he has more. Tucker Poolman, you're 3rd in scoring here. Ain't no way. Vasilevsky, 3 wins this season, a 910 to 247. The save percentage has actually been really good, and you know what? You're picking up 3 regulation wins, so there's really nothing I can complain about here. You're standing on your head. The Colorado Avalanche are Stanley Cup champions, but it's time for us to spin that wheel once again. So let's go and spin that wheel of overalls. Give me a 97 overall. Give me Connor McDavid. I'll take an 81 overall, though. Like, that's still going to be a significant upgrade for the team. Would have preferred an 82, an 83, an 84. Not an 85, though. Don't want an 85. I'll take an 86, though. Yeah, there are significantly better options, but you know what? An 81 isn't the end of the world. So when it comes to selecting an 81 overall player, there's going to be a ton of options. So I'm randomizing the teams right now, and we're going to select from the Ottawa Senators. The Ottawa Senators are going to give us an 81 overall. Assuming they have an 81 overall, Ridley Gregg, Nick Jensen, these are the 2 guys we can select from. And you know what? I think I'm going to go with Nick Jensen here. Now, that might not make a lot of sense here. Like, Ridley Gregg would be a great upgrade for our offense. But once we get further into this video and we need a 3rd pairing defenseman, I would like Nick Jensen there. He could hold it down. He could be a good defenseman for us. And as the 3rd pairing D-man, I don't need him to be a superstar. He just has to play his role. Then again, the exact same could be said for Ridley Gregg. He'd be a 4th line player, but that's neither here nor there. Nick Jensen, welcome to the team. So although the offensive core is still looking weak when it comes to the forwards, don't worry, we have 2 elite defensemen here, Nick Jensen, and yes, I just called Tucker Poolman elite. Performed last season, sort of. He was our 3rd leading scorer, and now that he has Nick Jensen by his side, he might record 25 points, maybe even 30. 30 might be a little bit of a stretch here, but at least we have 2 guys that earn 50 overalls. I mean, technically 3 if you're counting Andre Vasilevsky, and why wouldn't we? Now, I really gassed up Tucker Poolman for helping us get to 3 wins. But Nick Jensen, you might even be more valuable. 4 wins this season. But on top of those 4 wins, I thought 30 points was going to be unrealistic, but Nick Jensen said, nah, I got this. 36 points from Nick Jensen and 14 from Tucker Poolman. Bro really got outscored by stick on the ice legend Cody James and stick on the ice legend Gunnar Storm. Both of these guys are outscoring Tucker Poolman. Nah, Tucker Poolman's washed. I understand why he's a 69 overall now. Meanwhile, Andre Vasilevsky, 4 wins, a 906 and a 473. Keep on doing your thing here. But I think it's only a matter of time before we bring some offensive firepower to the team. The New Jersey Devils are Stanley Cup champions, but let's go add some offensive firepower. Let's get a 98 overall and bring McDavid to the team. So give me 98 overall Connor McDavid, and then we'll be sitting in a great spot here. 71 overall, I don't even know who it would be. Is there any 71 overalls? If I put 71 overall on the wheel, there's got to be at least one. Okay, so I've gone through every single team here. Turns out there actually is no 71 overall players in the league right now. For some reason, I thought there was. So I guess we're just going to go with a 72 overall player instead. And I know for a fact there's a 72 overall player, and one of them happens to be on the Vancouver Canucks. That's who we're bringing to the team next. We're finally going to be bringing our first forward here, and I think this guy might have scored in his first game. Do not quote me on that, but I saw this guy's name on Twitter, so I'm just assuming he scored a goal, or he got into a fight, one of the two. I have no clue. Okay, I just pulled up Max's stats. Bro actually has been somewhat decent this season. 5 points in 10 games. He picked up his first career goal the other day. You know what? He's actually been pretty solid. So I gotta give respect where respect is due. Max is him. So maybe I just wasn't familiar with Max. Maybe he's going to be a superstar in the future. Maybe he's a generational talent I don't know about. 72 overall. He's going to lead the forward core here. He's picking up 65 points, bare minimum. Now, this is truly heartbreaking. Max, I was calling you a potential generational talent. We won 2 games this season. Somehow we actually got worse by replacing a 50 overall player with Max. Max, how could you do this to me? Okay, Tucker Poolman, you were actually awful. Like, you were atrocious here. So yeah, no, it's all Tucker Poolman's fault. Max, it's not your fault. It's Tucker Poolman. We are going to blame Tucker Poolman for every single fault on the Portland Pirates. For every game this team loses, it's Tucker Poolman's fault. No disrespect towards Tucker Poolman. I don't even know why I'm calling out Tucker Poolman. He has done nothing wrong to me. But yeah, for some reason, we are just disliking Tucker Poolman today. Alright, I can't deal with another 72 overall player. I need an absolute superstar here. An 80 overall player is really not going to be helping too much here, but he will be a good addition. Now, this is very similar to a couple spins ago where we had to select an 81 overall player. I'm assuming every single team in the league right now has an 80 overall player, and we're going to select from the Dallas Stars. Let's see who an 80 overall from the Dallas Stars is going to be. We're going to have two guys to select from here, Colin Blackwell, Maverick Bourque. And honestly, I think we're going to go with Maverick Bourque here. We need a playmaker on the team. A grinder's really not going to be helping us too much. But with us adding Maverick Bourque to the team, another stick on the ice legend is going to fall here. And you just hate to see that. So with Maverick Bourque joined the team, we now have a new highest overall when it comes to the forward core. Maverick at an 80 overall. An 80 overall isn't a superstar by any means, but considering he's the best player in this team, I'm expecting big things from him. But at the end of the day, this team can really only do so much. We're definitely not going to be winning a Stanley Cup this season, but I am expecting at least 40 points from Maverick. Now, I'm absolutely speechless. I don't have any words here. The Portland Pirates, 2 wins this season. That's not what I'm speechless about. I'm speechless about the fact that Nick Jensen just led this team in points. Nick Jensen led the team. He had 7 more points than Maverick Bourque. Maverick Bourque, I was expecting at least 40 points from you. Why are you not picking up 40 points? You're probably playing 27 minutes a night. How many minutes are you playing? Okay, you're only playing 20. You should definitely be playing more than that. So I kind of understand why Nick Jensen had more points than you. Then again, bro's a defensive defenseman. This shouldn't be happening. There's no way Nick Jensen should outscore Maverick Bourque. Vasilevsky, you're doing what you can with this team. I mean, there's nothing in front of you, so I can't expect too much. Meanwhile, the Columbus Blue Jackets Stanley Cup champions. Okay, this was a wild simulation. Let's spin the wheel. Like, Maverick Bourque scoring less than 40 points is one thing, but the Columbus Blue Jackets winning the Stanley Cup, that's outlandish. But you know what certainly isn't outlandish, and I'm perfectly fine with? Bringing a 92 overall to the team. So we've already brought one 92 overall player to the team in Andre Vasilevsky, and I know for a fact that the Tampa Bay Lightning have a handful of 92 overalls. So some of our other options here are Brayden Point, Victor Hedman, but you know what? We're actually not going to be selecting from the Tampa Bay Lightning. Instead, we're going to head over to the Florida Panthers, and what an absolute steal this is. Matthew Tkachuk, welcome to the team, 92 overall. He's going to be a star on the Portland Pirates, and he's our new captain. Now, with the addition of a guy like Matthew Tkachuk, I'm expecting big things. Maverick Bourque, you better have at least 50 points this season. Matthew Tkachuk, I'm looking at 60 for you. Granted, yeah, you don't have the greatest players to play with, but you are a 92 overall. You're the captain of this team, an absolute superstar. Expectations are through the roof for you. Are these unrealistic expectations considering you're surrounded with 50 overall players? Absolutely. But you know what? We have to set high expectations around here. We can't have people folding. So Matthew Tkachuk, you're an absolute hero. 7 wins this season, 3 of them coming in regulation. Surprisingly, that's not the most amount of regulation wins we've had. I believe we have had 4 regulation wins, but Matthew Tkachuk, 77 points. You're surpassing the expectations I had for you, and I had unrealistic expectations. Maverick Bourque, 55 points. Nick Jensen, 40 this season. Show to Max, he's picking up 35 points. He was holding it down the first line alongside Matthew Tkachuk, and then Andre Vasilevsky, 7 wins, 1 shot, a 903 and a 445. Bro's been an absolute superstar for us since day one. However, the team's just not in front of him. The Tampa Bay Lightning are going to win the Stanley Cup with their Andre Vasilevsky taking down the Vancouver Canucks in 7 games. So with that last spin, we were able to bring a 92 overall player to the team, but allow me to bring Connor McDavid to the team. We went from a 92 overall to a 72 overall. Yeah, I don't have too much to say about that. So when you get a 72 overall player, I don't think it really matters who you select, but I do know the Anaheim Ducks do have a 72 overall. Drew Helleson, welcome to the team. I'm assuming your name is Drew Helleson. Is it Drew Helleson? Yes, it is. I have played this game enough. Even when I see 72 overall players, I know their names. So shout out to Drew Helleson. He's joined the team. Another defenseman. Yeah, you can't be that bad for us. Now, the forward core might be the exact same, but you know what? We are getting a slight upgrade to the defense. Drew Helleson's going to be jumping onto the first line. Tucker Poolman, you're moving down to the second line here. Yeah, the defense is still in such an atrocious spot. Like, eventually we do have to bring some superstars to the team. And maybe I should have brought 92 overall Victor Hedman. That actually might have been the play. But you know what? We can't go back from that. I do like Matthew Tkachuk on this team. I still believe that was a great selection. But yeah, we got to bring a superstar defenseman to the team because we can't win a Stanley Cup with these 3 guys respectfully. So with all the struggles that we've seen the Portland Pirates have so far, we finally had that elusive 10-win season, a 10-66-6 record, 26 points this season, 8 of those wins coming in regulations. We're setting career highs across the board, but not when it comes to individual scoring. Matthew Tkachuk, a bit of a step back, 68 points. Maverick Bourque, he's picking up 52. Max is going to be picking up 23 and 23 for 46 points, so he held up his end of the bargain. Nick Jensen was great for us. Shout out to James McAvoy, 22 points, holding it down for us. You know what? I'm not expecting these 50 overalls to do too much, but you know what? They've been stepping up in the big moments, and so is Andrei Vasilevsky. 10 wins, 2 shouts, a 9-10 to 4-13. We actually might be making the postseason sooner than I think. I'm not talking like adding 1 or 2 more players, but I think if we add 6 more of this team, we might be able to compete for a wild card spot. Barring who we add to the team, of course. The Vancouver Canucks are Stanley Cup champs, taking down the Florida Panthers. Let's go ahead and spin that wheel and add another player. So we can't get any more 70 overall players. You got to give me some 90 overall players. I'll definitely take a 95, but I guess we can live with an 83. Not what I wanted, of course, but yeah, we'll work with an 83. So when we're in the low 80s, of course, we just have to randomize teams here and figure out who we're going to be selecting from. It's going to be the Florida Panthers. I don't want to select from Florida again. How about we select from the Boston Bruins? Change it up a little bit, and an 83 overall player we could get from the Boston Bruins. We're looking at guys like Morgan Geekie, Trent Frederic, Jonas Corposello, but of course, I gotta go with stick on the ice legend Trent Frederic. He's always in my rebuilds, always playing some great bottom 6 minutes, so Trent Frederic, welcome to the team. So our first line's gonna be looking elite this season. Maverick, Bourque, Trent Frederic, Matthew Tkachuk. If these guys aren't picking up a point a game, then I don't know what's going on here. We're gonna absolutely dominate. Nick Jensen, Helleson, what a tandem that is. Then when it comes to goaltending, Andrei Vasilevsky, 12 wins this season at the very minimum. You know what? Let's strive for 20. Nothing better than setting incredibly unrealistic expectations that this team will somehow live up to. It won't make any sense, but they'll somehow win 20 games. I think we all know that's not going to happen, but a man can pray. Yeah, so you remember how we had dreams of 20 wins? I guess we can live with 6. 6 wins, 7 OT losses. We got to take what we can get around here. Matthew Tkachuk, 69 points. I was expecting a bit more since I gave you Trent Frederic, but you know what? I guess you couldn't live up to the hype. The lights were a bit too bright here, but you know what? We're going to figure it out in the future, and we're going to figure it out once we get a superstar defenseman. I do not care what the next overall is. Yes, I do. That's actually a massive lie, but if it's anything higher than a 90 overall, actually I take that back, anything higher than an 85 overall, we're bringing a defenseman to the team. Unless it's like a 97 overall, 98 overall, and I get McDavid, then McDavid's joined the team, but you get the point. We need a superstar defenseman. Nick Jensen, Drew Helleson, they're just not going to cut it here. We need a true star. An 81 overall is not a true star. So last time we brought an 81 overall player to the team, we got Nick Jensen. He turned into a star for us. This time we're going to change things up a little bit. We just landed on the Boston Bruins. We're not selecting from Boston again. And instead we're going to Tampa Bay. I don't want to select from Tampa Bay again. Give me the Montreal Canadiens. The Montreal Canadiens are going to be the next team we select from. Do they have an 81 overall player? Yes, they do. And it's stick on the ice legend Justin Barron, a two-way defenseman. Our defensive core is cooked. Like, we just can't get a superstar here. No matter what happens, we can't get a superstar player, and it's going to hurt this team in the future a ton. Now, when we talk about great defensive cores, I don't think you think of guys like Justin Barron, Nick Jensen, Drew Helleson, and Tucker Poolman, but that's what we got here. These are our top 2 pairings when it comes to the defense. Yeah, let's just get the season over with real quick. So Portland, this is the bounce back season I'm looking for. A 10-69-3 record, 7 regulation wins. This is what I'm expecting season in and season out. Matthew Tkachuk, in saying that, I am expecting you to do more season in and season out. Maverick, Bourque, Trent Frederic, both of you guys have to be better here. The defense has to be better, but considering what we have, they actually weren't that bad. And Andrei Vasilevsky, 2 wins this season. We just had one of our 50 overall goaltenders pick up 2 wins this season. Yeah, things are about to change for this team. This is a sign of the future right here. Things are definitely going to be changing. We're taking strides in the right direction. The Vancouver Canucks are winning the Stanley Cup. We're going to get Quinn Hughes with this next spin. I'm calling it right now. I'm putting it all on the line right now. Quinn Hughes will be our next selection. We just got to make sure we get his overall. That's certainly not Quinn Hughes' overall. Yeah, I don't know what to say about that. That's tough. Now, an 85 overall defenseman would be amazing for us. But you know what else would be great? An 85 overall forward. We're going to begin that from the Chicago Blackhawks. Teuvo Teravainen, welcome to the team. You know what? This isn't a bad selection. We got a playmaker to play alongside Matthew Tkachuk. I can certainly live with that. So Kilrow, unfortunately, is going to be cut from the team here. Teuvo Teravainen is going to be joining. And you know what? We actually have a decent first line now. So these are the lines we're going to run here. It's going to be Matthew Tkachuk, Trent Frederic, and Teuvo Teravainen on that top line. I think that's going to be a really good first line for us for now. Eventually, we are going to have to get like an 85 overall sentiment. But you know what? Trent Frederic, you can step up into this role right now, and you can hold it down for us. I'm expecting at least 70 points from Matthew Tkachuk this season. He's got a great player in Teuvo Teravainen at his side. That's the bare minimum expectations from Matthew Tkachuk. 70 points. It's 70 points or bust here. Now, with the high expectations for the Portland Pirates, they exceeded them. 14 wins this season, 11 of them coming in regulation. But Matthew Tkachuk, what'd you do this season? 70 points from Matthew Tkachuk. He reached the bare minimum. Would have preferred like 72. I mean, go a bit above expectations. But 30 goals, 40 assists for exactly 70 points. You lived up to the expectations exactly, so I can't be mad at you. Teuvo Teravainen, 61 points here. Trent Frederic, 45. And then when it comes to goaltending, what were the goaltenders looking like? Storm Wolf's going to be picking up a win this season. Doesn't look like Andre Vaseline was here. But you know what? We did have Vasilevsky. 13 wins, 2 shots, a 915 and a 345. Bro was actually elite this season. If only we could score the puck. If we could score this season, we actually might have been able to finish second last in the entire league. But the problem is we can't score right now. Vancouver's going to win yet again another Stanley Cup. So maybe it's time to bring some offense to the team. The defense actually wasn't atrocious here. We just don't score. In saying that though, we can't rely on Nick Jensen to be our #1 defenseman. So give me a 90 overall here. That's massive for us. Now, I guess the real question is, do we take a defenseman? Now, not every team is going to have a 90 overall player, so we just have to go through every single team and find a 90 overall player. Some of our options right now, Jake Ottinger, Jason Robertson. I'd be perfectly fine with bringing Jason Robertson to the team, but we might as well see what else is out there. And I'm not going to lie, it actually might be significantly less players than I thought. UC Saros, Filip Forsberg, these are 2 other options. I think I'm going to take Filip Forsberg over Jason Robertson. I kind of like that selection a bit more. Jesper Bratt wouldn't be a bad selection, but you know what? I think we have enough playmakers here. Sorokin, we don't need another goaltender here. You know what? I don't need to look at the rest of the options here. Filip Forsberg, welcome to the team. Forsberg is going to be a great player for us. He's going to provide a bit more scoring. Do we need a defenseman here? Absolutely, but we also need goal scoring, and that's what Filip Forsberg is bringing to the team. So on top of having 2 defensive pairings, we officially have 2 forward lines here. Matthew Tkachuk and Filip Forsberg on the top line with Maverick Bourque in between them. They should be producing like crazy. We should score a ton of goals this season. Granted, the bottom 6 is still full 50 overall players. Goaltending outside Andre Vasilevsky isn't the best in the world, but you know what? We got some decent pieces that we can certainly build around. So with the addition of Filip Forsberg, not only was the offense significantly better, but we had 18 wins this season, 7 overtime losses, 43 points. That's a team high. But on top of that, offensively, Filip Forsberg was him. 83 points. We finally had a point a game score. Matthew Tkachuk, 77 points. Maverick Bourque, 57. The offense is getting rolling here. And once we bring in some offensive weapons for the bottom 6, we're going to be unstoppable. Vasilevsky, these are incredible numbers. 17 wins, 4 shots, a 920 and a 315. Considering what the defense looks like on this team and the bottom 6, a 315 is spectacular, but a 920 is actually insane. Bro is standing on his head. I can't ask him to be any better. We just got to put some goals in the back of the net and we'll be making the playoffs. Washington's going to win the Stanley Cup here. They're going to take down the Dallas Stars in 7 games. Who needs defense? Let's go get 98 overall Connor McDavid. Or 97. I don't even remember what his overall is. If I remember correctly, Connor McDavid is a 98 overall unless something changed here. We're not getting a 92 overall. Instead, we're getting a 79. So all that hype we had heading into next season immediately died. So a 79 overall is really not going to help the team too much. We're heading over to the Philadelphia Flyers. I know for a fact Philly's going to have a couple 79 overalls on the team. I got to take that back. No, they don't. The San Jose Sharks, they probably have 79 overalls. They got to have at least one 79 overall. And it looks like they have a couple here. Grundstrom and Smith are both available here. I mean, technically Smith got traded over to the Colorado Avalanche, but that's not the latest roster update, so he's still in the San Jose Sharks, and because of that, he's going to be joining the Portland Pirates. He's going to play some gritty bottom 6 minutes for us, and he's going to help the Portland Pirates in the future. Now, I said Smith was going to be a great bottom 6 player for us, but I meant in the future, because right now he's going to play some gritty second line minutes for us. We need somebody to throw the body on this team. We need somebody to battle in the corners, and that's what he's going to bring to the team. Truthfully, not really the thing we need right now. We need a superstar defenseman. We need some superstar forwards, but you know what? Smith, you're going to play a role on this team, and you're going to be a valuable asset. At the end of the day, I would have preferred Connor McDavid, but you know what, Smith? As long as you play a role here, you're going to be a great asset. Now, with every new addition, the team continues to move in the right direction. That's what we're going to continue to do here. 44 points this season, a 20-58-4 record. The offense isn't quite there yet. 2.29 goals per game, certainly not going to be enough here. The defense still atrocious, but considering what the Philadelphia Flyers did this season, were we really that bad? Like, the Philadelphia Flyers have a roster of all NHL players. We have 50 overalls on the bottom 6. There is a massive difference between 50 overall players and NHL players. When it comes to the scoring, Matthew Tkachuk lived up to the hype here, 82 points, a point a game this season. Filip Forsberg, 75. Maverick Bourque's going to be picking up 50. Meanwhile, Andre Vasilevsky, you continue to have great numbers here, but that's not going to get us any postseason success because we're not even going to make the postseason. And who would have seen this coming? The Vancouver Canucks winning another Stanley Cup. It's getting out of hand. So how about instead of giving me a 79 overall player, you give me a 97 overall player? There was 2 way better options. We got an 86. And I'm happy with an 86, but we could have gotten a 95 and we could have gotten a 91. I just needed the wheel to either slow up a bit sooner or speed up a little bit towards the end, and we would have gotten two better options. But an 86 overall is still going to be good. Now, not only is an 86 overall going to give us a solid player, but we're going to have tons of options. We could bring a guy like Troy Terry to the team. We could bring defenseman Brandon Carlo, and that's who we're bringing to the team. There is no doubt in my mind Brandon Carlo has joined this team. I don't care who else the other options are. Brandon Carlo, you will join this team. Breddington's going to leave the team. Brandon Carlo, welcome here. You're going to save the day. So our defensive core is almost comprised of all NHL players. The best being Brandon Carlo and 86 overall. I couldn't turn down Brandon Carlo. A great defensive defenseman that's going to lead the offense from the defense. If you know, you know. Brandon Carlo, an absolute superstar. So Portland's not really going to be seeing a significant jump in success this season. It's another 20-win campaign, 47 points. Nothing crazy this season. I think our offense might have been slightly worse, and that's going to result in us not having a single point-a-game player. But Maverick Bourque might have been the true star on this team, having a plus-minus a +2, so that's definitely a massive increase. Brandon Carlo led the defense here. That's no surprise. 31 points for Brandon Carlo, a defensive defenseman leading us offensively. If you know about Brandon Carlo, then this is just common knowledge. You know he's going to step up in these big time moments. Vasilevsky, Vaseline, both of you guys were great this season, but you know what? It's still not enough here. We're still not making the playoffs. The Carolina Hurricanes are going to be Stanley Cup champions, but things got to change pretty quick around here. Now, I don't know what we need to change. We either need a superstar forward or a superstar defenseman. We could have gotten 95 overall. I'll take an 83 though, but I would have preferred a 95. So you know what? We haven't added a St. Louis Blue to the team, and I think that's really been the missing piece for us. We need somebody to step up in these big time moments, and you know who that's going to be? Brayden Schenn, welcome to the team. You should be higher than an 83 overall. That is incredibly disrespectful to Brayden Schenn. Now, what are we doing here? Brayden Schenn needs to be at least an 85 overall. Now, am I the appropriate person to judge the overall of the St. Louis Blues? Absolutely, because I would 100% not inflate the values of every single player on the St. Louis Blues. Nope, I wouldn't do that. There is zero chance that would ever happen. I would definitely be very fair with the ratings. So 83 overall Brayden Schenn, it's definitely got to be a lot higher than that. So I feel like we're just a couple seasons from not being dead last in the entire league. But in order for that to happen, we have to pray one of these teams right here only wins like 25 games. Like, we need some team to just be incredibly terrible. Like, so bad that they're borderline going to get relocated. That's what we need to happen for the Portland Pirates to finish second last in the entire league. 23 wins this season, 5 OT losses. The team continues to move in the right direction here. Clearly, Brayden Schenn was a missing piece for us because once that man joined the team, he was the best player. +8 this season, 61 points. Without Brayden Schenn, we're not seeing any of this success. And then when it comes to goaltending, Vasilevsky, you almost have a goals against below 3, so that means we're just a couple seasons away from truly competing with the best in the entire league. But until then, we're going to see teams like the Toronto Maple Leafs win the Stanley Cup. Alright, that's enough nonsense for me. So all I can ask for is a 90 plus overall player. Give me a 90 plus overall. You gave me a 90 exactly. I asked for 90 plus, and you gave me 90. Nah, ain't no way that just happened. So we've already brought one 90 overall player to the team in Filip Forsberg. What I really think we need here is a 90 overall center. And you know what? That's what we could get with Mark Scheifele here. And you know what? I'm not even going to look at other options. Mark Scheifele is going to join this team here, and he's going to be great for us. He's going to play on the top line. Mark Scheifele, Filip Forsberg, and Matthew Tkachuk. No, that's going to be magical. So with the addition of Mark Scheifele, we're a fourth line away from completing this team. One defenseman and a backup goaltender. So we're 5 players away from completing this team right here. It is going to take more than 5 spins. I can tell you that right now. We're not going to be able to win with the defensive core we have. Then again, if we score 6 goals per game, who needs defense? But I don't think this forward core right here is scoring 6 goals per game. Now I'm going to say it. I'm absolutely stunned. Portland, what did y'all do this season? 26 wins. I gave you Mark Scheifele. And what did you do after I gave you Mark Scheifele? A whole lot of nothing. Matthew Tkachuk, 74 points. Filip Forsberg, 73. Mark Scheifele, 73. -12, -12, -19. How does that happen when I give you 90 overall Mark Scheifele? Like, that just doesn't make any sense. Like, I really don't know what to say about that. I gave you 90 overall Mark Scheifele, and y'all were somehow worse. I mean, technically you were better, as in we had more wins, but I feel like the team in general was actually just worse this season, if that makes any sense. I don't know if it does. The Colorado Avalanche, Stanley Cup champions here. But yeah, even though we had more wins, I feel like we were worse. And saying all that, just give me 97 overall or 98 overall Connor McDavid. Thank you. There we go. Connor McDavid. Every issue has been solved. We're winning a Stanley Cup next season. So 98 overall Connor McDavid. Welcome to the team. I'm about to find out Connor McDavid's probably not a 98 overall. Okay, I was fully convinced he was a 98 overall, because wasn't he a 98 overall in NHL 24? Maybe I'm losing my mind here. I was fully convinced that Connor McDavid was a 98 overall. I'm going to go back to NHL 24 and I'm going to go check that. I am positive he was a 98 overall in NHL 24. Okay, apparently he was never a 98 overall. I don't know why. For some reason in my head he was a 98 overall. I just went back to NHL 24. Nope, he is a 97 overall. Truthfully, that makes a lot of sense because I don't even think Wayne Gretzky's a 99 overall. I think he's only like a 98. So it kind of makes sense that Wayne Gretzky... Okay, never mind. He is a 97 as well. Connor McDavid, Wayne Gretzky, and Bobby Orr are all the same overall. Yeah, let's just completely ignore all the yapping I've done about 98 overalls in this video. We're going to consider a 98 overall, a 97 overall. At the end of the day, McDavid's joined the team here. So yeah, we're bringing 98 overall Connor McDavid to the team. We're putting 98 overall in quotation marks because he's actually a 97, but that's neither here nor there. We just brought the best player in the league to the team. So yeah, Connor McDavid, Matthew Tkachuk, Filip Forsberg, we should be able to score. If we can't score this season, nothing will save this team. Now, Connor McDavid, it doesn't surprise me that this happened. The second we brought you to the team, we're not last, we're not second last, not third last, not fourth last, 23rd in the entire league. A 40, 39, and 3 record. And why did this happen? We started scoring goals. 3.32 goals per game. The defense still isn't that great here, but you know what? We're getting close to having a positive goal differential. We're still off by 29 goals, but we're working towards it. We're 29 goals from our goal differential being 0. Connor McDavid 108 points this season. You might as well have been a 98 overall. Matthew Tkachuk 104. Filip Forsberg 103. Mark Scheifele had 84 points. He was -7, but you know what? I can live with that. We're going to bring a couple more pieces to this team. Then we're going to be winning a Stanley Cup. Vasilevsky, you were great. The save percentage fell off a little bit. That's probably because you weren't facing as many shots, but that's neither here nor there. This team's going to add one more piece to the team. Then we're going to be making the playoffs. Or at least I hope that's what's going to happen. It probably won't. So we added Connor McDavid. How about we add Austin Matthews next? Give me another high overall. 78 is not a high overall. So yeah, we got another bottom 6 piece. Maybe another defenseman, who knows. So you already know what we do around here. It's a high 70 overall player, but that doesn't matter whatsoever. We're going to randomize the teams here. We're landing on the Minnesota Wild. Do the Minnesota Wild have a 78 overall player? Yes, they do. And I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name. All I know is bro's coming to the team. So we picked up a 78 overall from the Minnesota Wild, but unfortunately, I really don't think that's going to be the difference maker here. I don't think we're going to make the playoffs with a team like this. Yeah, we have Connor McDavid, Matthew Tkachuk, and Filip Forsberg. That's an incredible first line. And even the second line, it's not too bad here. However, the bottom 6, not necessarily in the greatest spot. The defense, outside of Brandon, Carlo, and Nick Jensen, I'm not really liking what we have here. And then when it comes to goaltending, we still have a 50 overall backup, and that's definitely not ideal for us. We need at least 2 great goaltenders we can run, and maybe I should have tried to pick up a 78 overall backup, but that's neither here nor there. We're rocking this team right here, and we're going to try to sneak into the wild card. Now, I certainly didn't expect it to happen this season, but not only did we make the playoffs, we weren't actually in the wild card. We finished 3rd in our division with a 41, 31, and 10 record. The boys are here to play. We made it into the postseason. The defense actually was somewhat good this season. I'm not going to complain with this defense right here. We had a top 10 defense in the entire league. The offense was probably the worst, though. Actually, it wasn't the worst. It was one of the worst offenses, but we had one of the better defenses in the league. Connor McDavid, the reason our offense was so bad is you didn't step up when you had to. Only 81 points. We really didn't have a point-a-game scorer on this team. We do have Vasilevsky in between the pipes, and that means quite a bit here. 37 wins, 5 shots, a 920, and a 266. Bro was incredible this season. But the real question is that spectacular season going to continue into the postseason? We had the Vancouver Canucks in the first round. As we know, the Vancouver Canucks have won a handful of Stanley Cups so far, but not this time. So we had the Portland Pirates taking on the Vancouver Canucks. 2 great teams matching up. We're going to win game number 1. We're also winning game 3, but things are not going our way in game 4. We're losing that one 12-4. Definitely not ideal for us. We're going to be dropping the next game after that. We've allowed 20 goals in the past 2 games. Yeah, if that doesn't sum up this team, I don't know what will. But here we go. We got Game 6 elimination. I need the Portland Pirates to show up when it matters. The defense just isn't good enough right now, and I think we're going to be dropping this one. We're going to be losing 2-0. 22 goals allowed in the past 3 games. That's definitely not going to help you win a Stanley Cup. So we're going to be falling in the first round here. I don't think there's a single person surprised at this, but I'm more surprised about the fact that we made the playoffs. Because even after we add another player for next season, I wouldn't be overly surprised if we missed the playoffs. I don't think we should have made the playoffs this season. I think we exceeded expectations expectations by a ton here, but you know what? That's just the way it goes. The Pittsburgh Penguins are Stanley Cup champions, but you know what? Portland's going to add another player to the team, and then they'll be ready. Before we add a player to Portland, though, we might as well look at the postseason scoring. McDavid's picking up 6 points, Filip Forsberg 5, Trent Frederic's picking up 5 here, so is Matthew Tkachuk, and then when it came to goaltending, we already know for a fact these are going to be atrocious numbers. Like, we allowed 22 goals in the past 3 games. There's literally no way Vasilevsky's numbers look good. But you know what? The past is in the past here. It's time for us to move on, add another superstar to the team. Now we're getting a 91 overall player. I think we need a 91 overall defenseman, if I'm being honest. We need a shutdown defenseman, and that's what we're going to be bringing to the team with our next selection. So as I mentioned, we need to bring a superstar defenseman to the team. We're going to be able to bring a 91 overall, but is there a 91 overall defenseman in the league? I assume there is, but I guess we're going to have to find one. Okay, thankfully, I did eventually find a 91 overall defenseman. I think he might be the only 91 overall defenseman in the league. It's Miro Heiskanen. We're going to be bringing him from the Dallas Stars. He's going to be joining Maverick, Bourque as the 2 players from the Dallas Stars. But yeah, Miro Heiskanen, the only 91 overall defenseman in the league. Show it to him, I guess. Also, I lied. Rasmus Dahlin is a 91 overall defenseman. You know what? We're going to take him over Miro Heiskanen. And the only reason for that is we haven't added a player from the Buffalo Sabres, and we've already added one. Okay, I'm going to be honest. I did not go alphabetically. I went reverse alphabetically. So yeah, if I just went alphabetically, we went to the Boston Bruins, 91 overall Charlie McAvoy. Went to the Buffalo Sabres, 91 overall Rasmus Dahlin. And then if we went to the Dallas Stars, 91 overall Miro Heiskanen. Instead, I decided to do it the opposite way. I don't know why. I started with the Winnipeg Jets and went through all these teams. Yeah, maybe I should just go alphabetically from here on out, but that's neither here nor there. Rasmus Dahlin, welcome to the team. Now, though the forward core is staying the exact same here, we're moving over to the defense. Rasmus Dahlin and Brayden Carlo on that top pairing. I can't ask for 2 better defensemen. Brayden Carlo and Rasmus Dahlin, we might as well have 2 99 overalls here. And the only reason they'd be 99 overalls is because Brayden Carlo's here, and he's going to make Rasmus Dahlin significantly better just because of his presence. Now, what if I told you we went from being 3rd in our division to 3rd last in the entire league? Yeah, it can happen that quick. We were not good this season. The offense slightly better here, but the defense significantly better. Rasmus Dahlin, you ruined this team. You destroyed this team. We were allowing 4 goals per game. How is that even possible? How did we get that bad defensively? I don't care about offensive scoring numbers. I gotta look at Vasilevsky's numbers. 31 wins, 3 shouts, a 902 and a 341. But look at the backup. Storm Wolf, a 218-1 record. That's what we have to do. We gotta bring in a better backup. And once we have a better backup, we'll basically be guaranteed the postseason every year. Because right now it's just not good enough. Our backup's losing us too many games. But that's about to change with this next spin. Now I say that, but then again, if we get a 95 overall and bring in someone like Nathan MacKinnon to the team, that worked out perfectly. Okay, yeah, Nathan MacKinnon, welcome to the team. Unless you're a 96 overall. I'll have to double check that. Explain to me how I know what Drew Helson's overall is, but I don't know what Connor McDavid's is, and I don't know what Nathan MacKinnon's is. How does that work? So when it comes to 95 overall players, this is who we have available. David Pastrnak, he'd be a great upgrade to the team here. When it comes to the Colorado Avalanche, we couldn't get Nathan MacKinnon, but we could get Cale Makar. I think we need Cale Makar on this team. I really do. I think we need another superstar defenseman like him, and then him and Rasmus Dahlin as our first pairing. No, we would actually be unstoppable. So Cale Makar, I'm not even going to look at any other options. You're joining the team. So I think the defense might be good enough to win now. Rasmus Dahlin, Cale Makar, Brayden Carlo. Yeah, the other 3 pieces might not be the greatest in the world, but we got Nick Jensen. And what more do you need? Nick Jensen's probably the most valuable piece to this defense. If we took this man away, we might as well take 35 wins away. So after a disastrous season last year, you know what, we're going to bounce back. We're 12th in the entire league, a 42, 34, and 6 record. And I'm going to be honest, we have Connor McDavid on this team. We have Cale Makar on this team. We have Matthew Tkachuk on this team. We have Andrei Vasilevsky on this team. We should be able to figure it out. I don't care if the bottom 6 might not be the greatest in the world. We will figure it out here. We have great players on great players on great players on this team. Yeah, there's a few weaknesses, definitely some things that we have to work on, but you know what? We have some good pieces. We have some amazing pieces here. We're going to figure it out, and we're just going to play the top players. The first line's the only line touching the ice, and that's how we'll see success. McDavid, you better be able to play 60 minutes a game because that's what you're doing. We're taking on the Edmonton Oilers. We have Edmonton's Connor McDavid versus Portland's Connor McDavid. It's a battle of the McDavids. So Connor McDavid versus Connor McDavid. Which McDavid's going to come out on top? This is going to be a quick series. Time to spin that wheel. So that didn't happen. Let's go ahead, spin the wheel of overalls, and see what we're going to be adding to the team next. A 79 overall. Yeah, that's not what I want. Granted, we should be able to find a 79 overall backup goaltender somewhere. So maybe this isn't the worst thing in the world. So I finally found our new backup goaltender, Cale Primeau. Welcome to the team, 79 overall. You're going to be an amazing backup for us, and you're going to help us win those extra couple games to certify ourselves into the postseason from here on out. So the forward core is going to look the same this season. Same with the defensive core. However, there is one massive upgrade here. Cale Primeau is going to be our backup, 79 overall. He's going to help us win those extra couple games every single season, and now we're going to be in the playoffs every single year. There's no way we're missing the playoffs. Watch us miss the playoffs here. Cale Primeau, you're the MVP. You're the best player on this team because you single-handedly turned us into the best team in the entire league. We're first in the entire league with 55 wins. Connor McDavid, who? Yeah, we don't need this man. We don't need Cale Makar. We don't need Matthew Tkachuk. All we need is Cale Primeau, who picked up 12 wins this season, 2 shots, a 917 to 263. It's all about Cale Primeau. The Montreal Canadiens factor is going to be helping us make it to the postseason here. First in the entire league. We're the best team in the entire league. There's no team that can beat us. We have the Minnesota Wild up first. Let's smoke this team. So after saying all of that right there, we better not lose in the first round. Actually, it's the very opposite of that. We're scoring goals like crazy here. Minnesota can't even compete with us. However, they are making a bit of a comeback. We're not going to drop 3 in a row though. We're going to close it out in game number 6, 6-1. Portland's got it figured out here. The offense is absolutely rolling, and you know what? I don't want to stop, especially if we're taking on this team next. We have the Edmonton Oilers. We have to make sure that we have all the momentum. We're winning game 1. We're winning game 2. Is this team unbeatable? We might be. We're moving into the conference finals. This team cannot be beat right now, and I don't want to stop. With the Portland Pirates having this much momentum, we just have to keep on simulating game after game. We're taking on the Colorado Avalanche, and we still can't be stopped. We have the Boston Bruins up next. I don't know how many straight victories that is, but we're going to keep on winning. Are we going to sweep the Boston Bruins? It doesn't look like it. We're moving into game 5. Game 5 is going to be massive for us, and what happened in game 5? We're winning that one 5-2. Can we close it out? Game number 6 against the Boston Bruins. Can Portland win it all? Yes, they can. Cale Primeau, you absolute beauty. But this team was incredible in the postseason. It wasn't just Cale Primeau, it was Connor McDavid picking up 20 goals and 16 assists for 36 points. Matthew Tkachuk picking up 29 points. Did you think Brayden Schenn was a bad pickup? Well, you know absolutely nothing. 14 goals, 12 assists for 26 points. Cale Makar, 25 points. Look at all the players above a point a game here. We truly were the best team in the entire league. And hold on, look at this man we got from the Minnesota Wild. Bro's only a 78 overall, but 6 goals, 8 assists for 14 points. He stepped up in the big moments. And who else stepped up? Andre Vasilevsky, of course. 16 wins, 2 shots, a 925 and a 251. Just like that, we've rebuilt the Portland Pirates, turned them into Stanley Cup champions through the wheel of overalls by the most valuable player. And if you made it to the end of this video, of course, comment Cale Primeau. Bro is him. Without this man, we're not winning a Stanley Cup. Who would have thought that Cale Primeau would be the most valuable player? Never in a million years would have I guessed that.